emotional needs. Maureen?
Thank you, Andy. Good to see you. Before COVID-19, social emotional initiatives were on the rise, but that need has increased 100% since then. Nothing is the same for kids today, and the impact of distance learning, lack of school experience in general, and restraints like masks, social distancing, while kids actually are in school, impact every single student. I've been working in my district, as Andy said, for about almost 20 years, and have never had to deal with kids in crisis the way that I do now. Every single day there's a student who has a need that immediately has to be met. We have kindergarten and first grade students that have never had in-school experiences. They have no idea how to socialize appropriately with peers. We have older kids that have minimal chances to socialize with their friends, work in groups. You know, they rarely see kids outside of school, and they rarely see their peers without masks and without being at least within 3 feet of one another. This has a significant impact in general. We know that social and emotional support improves academic success, but we also need the staffing and the professionals in school to do that. You know, knowing that there's that need and having that need, it's two different things. My job has changed dramatically over the last 18 years. Before COVID, I was involved. I was in classrooms. I was working with kids on lessons, teaching skills to an entire group. It was more preventative. I did counseling groups. I had the opportunity to work with, numbers of different students. Anybody who had a need or a teacher who wanted us to come in, me or the social worker would do that. Right now, my job has become testing and data collection. I know before COVID, even I didn't work with students anymore in counseling. I didn't go into classrooms. I have been relegated to being a tester to determine if a student has a disability, or collecting data to show that students are making progress. And this is the way it is across the state. We're not doing what we went to school for. Social workers are overwhelmed with just their positions of working with students who already have special ed services. They qualify, so they get the counseling and the groups that way. But we aren't meeting the needs of those other students. And right now, those other students it's everybody, because they're dealing with issues they haven't had to deal with before. So our district is lucky. I'm lucky to be in one building, but that's not the case. There's not enough resources, there's not enough staffing, there's not enough professional development. There's right now not enough school psychologists in the schools, or social workers or counselors, where every building has somebody who can support the social emotional needs of students. The first thing we need to do is address that issue. And the only way to do that is to get more people, get more staff, and get the people who are trained to give the social emotional training to teachers, and to give that support to students to get them in buildings. That's what we need from our state right now to address the crises that are happening every day in our schools. And now I would like to introduce, I'd like to introduce Assembly Member Benedetto. It's my honor to be introducing Assembly Member Benedetto this evening. The Assembly has been a longtime partner of Nice Hits in advancing a pro-public education agenda. As chair of the Education Committee, we want to thank Assembly Member Benedetto for his leadership, and we look forward to your continued support this legislative cycle. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. Assembly Member, I'd like to now invite you to share some brief remarks. Sorry about messing up your name.
Don't worry, everybody does it. I'm well used to it, and no offense taken. Hey, good evening.